Hi guys, welcome back. SimUK here once again, trying to commentate over what was a brilliant game of snooker, but unfortunately we've lost all the audio for it. So we're up against Mark Allen, ranked 5 or 5th in the world. And yeah, we win this one and we go into the finals. So this is a really important game. We definitely want to play well here. I'm not sure that Mark Allen's character likeness is particularly good. I had a sneaky suspicion that he smiled whilst the cameras were taking their shots of him, and that resulted in this rather interesting looking character. So once again we have the reds to the left, as we always do when the AI break, but fortunately for him we didn't really have a shot on, forcing us into an immediate defensive shot. Not an easy one by any means. Lots of right hand side here, attempting to clip the red across off the cushion and then come back up to the bulk cushion, playing the safety shot. I think I intentionally decided to go and try and place the cue ball down on the top cushion rather than try and bring it back up, which was my initial idea, hence the right spin. And yeah, having never played this shot before, despite getting the perfect shot, I basically overplayed it and pulled the ball back up and very much left him on. It wasn't the best shot I've ever played. And Mr. Mark Allen not really taking any chances there, passing straight into the middle pocket and getting himself onto his first break of the game. And it was an impressive break, running himself right up to 37. Until he played that rather loose red there, allowing me back into the game. Now, if you look at the score points at the moment, we actually needed a snooker, and you couldn't... Thank you for that, motorbike. You couldn't possibly ask for a better setup for a snooker opportunity. So, I took my time, thought about where the cue ball was going to end and where the red ball was going to end, bearing in mind this is the last red on the table. And I played my shot as best I possibly could. And it wasn't bad. Certainly not a bad snooker attempt by any means. One very tricky snooker to get out of, maybe not too difficult for the ultimate pros. But Mark Allen here making very short work of what was potentially a very difficult situation. Again though, I'm still in need of a snooker in order to take this game, so I once again, in a fairly decent opportunity, decided to try and keep the cue ball down by the bulk cushion and send the red up by the black. Unfortunately, I didn't count on the blue, so despite getting rather lucky, I did leave him with a shot onto the red, so no snooker this time. And Mr. Mark Allen played this shot, which was a little bit odd, to say the least. Potentially, the shot opportunity was on. I could have gambled. It could have been a shot to nothing. And eventually, that's pretty much the idea I went with. Fearful, though, of leaving the red ball on for Mr. Mark Allen to easily pot after me. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. I left the cue ball far too wide out on the right-hand side, and the red was perfectly placed. I should have really thought about that a lot more before playing that shot. Mr. Mark Allen, not messing about. Played the shot in with a lovely weighted shot there, bringing his score to 38. He then eventually cleared the rest of the table, finishing on a relatively impressive 67 and taking the first frame from us. So frame 2, we are there to break, and we're not too bad at breaking, I have to say. We've done it quite a few times. We have not a system in place per se, but we certainly have a system underway. And all we're really trying to do is work out where the cue ball is going to finish up when we play these shots. This wasn't too bad. On another day, that could have sat right behind the green and it would have been a snooker straight off the break, but not on this occasion. And there was a half opportunity here for Mark Allen to take, and he had a go at it, but he was thinking safely, and it was a good safety shot from him, requiring a follow-up safety shot from us. And having played a rather poor safety shot earlier on, I was determined to make a better attempt at this. Safety shot was well weighted. The red didn't move too close to the pocket, and with that little click off the yellow there, we ended up with a rather nice safety shot of our own to work with. So quite confident about that. I was interested to see what Mr. Mark Allen would do, and in traditional hardest difficulty AI, he played a rather loose safety shot, if you will, cannoning all the reds all over the table, opening up the pack, and then eventually leaving us on with the shot there. I did relatively well. Unfortunately, you see I missed that red there pretty close into, or pretty soon after we started taking our break, only managing to score a 6, and yeah, Mr. Mark Allen stepped up, took the red without any issue whatsoever, and proceeded to score a 54 break and cleared the table for a second time, taking the second frame and really starting to put the pressure on me. At this point, I was struggling still with the rather jittery power bar. Sometimes it would jitter, sometimes it wouldn't, and it was causing me quite a bit of stress and aggravation. But after a break of 9, I decided I needed to open the red pack, and putting loads of side on it, I tried to do that, but unfortunately the spin sort of behaved in a way that I hadn't really anticipated and didn't really give me the shot I had. All that left then was the long, rather dodgy, precarious shot to nothing into the corner pocket, which I took rather well, I have to say, and got a rather unfortunate kiss on the red there, on the blue, apologies, which I was trying to hold for, and that made breaking the pack open again a rather tricky situation. I tried to think about this, putting a lot of right hand side spin on it, hoping to come off the cushion but hold for the red. Maximum power. The blue sunk. The cue ball behaved in a way that I had not anticipated, let's be fair. So we didn't really have the pack open. There was no way for us to continue our break from this point. So it was definitely time for a very well placed, well timed safety shot. The shot was lined up. The analysis had been completed. It wasn't a clean shot by any means, and unfortunately it was a little bit overpowered, which kind of left everything open. Having said that, there were worse safety shots you could play, and I felt fairly confident that we would be back on the table fairly soon. Mr. Mark Allen had other ideas and played one hell of a shot into the corner pocket, leaving himself on the black, and you can see from my response there how disappointed I was that he'd played such a good shot in such an unfamiliar territory. But Mr. Mark Allen proceeded to clear up, getting himself a break of 24, taking the lead away from us. Then he snookered himself in traditional Snooker 19 hard difficulty AI, and in the process very nearly snookered us in return. But we did at last have an opportunity to get back on the table. Just 2 points up behind with 27 still left on the table. All we had to do was keep our nerve. We took the yellow into the middle pocket, leaving something of a tricky green to deal with. And what we needed here really was a quality snooker shot. But that was a big ask considering the layout of the table and the position of the green itself. Apologies for the noise outside my window today. And you can see that actually that was not the worst snooker attempt in the world. Just a smidge too much power, but not really anything much for Mr. Mark Allen to get his teeth into. He tried to return the favour with a rather dodgy snooker attempt. Actually managed to put the white ball in, which then opened the table up, gave us a 4-point lead, and allowed us to have the opportunity to play on and clear the table from this rather fortunate and positive position that we were in. We played the green into the corner pocket without any issue. Really nice position to hold for the brown, and that in itself would give us a good position for the blue, and it is just a mere formality from that point on. So with a break of 7, 35 playing 24. We sunk the blue. We lined up the pink. And we left ourselves rather straight on the black. But it didn't matter because the game was already won at that point, and we had put ourselves back into the match, which was starting to get away from us. My nerves were still shot. My confidence was certainly lacking. So I decided to go and have a break, grab myself a cup of tea, and discover myself with a couple of snacks. But we go away for the break at 2-1 down, and it's our turn to break. So I went away, found some of my daughter's soft foam sweeties. These are completely sugar-free treats from Aldi, and I have to say, not promoting Aldi in any way, shape or form, these things are absolutely delicious, and they are all quite healthy for you, apparently, according to the packet. So with that and a cup of tea at my side, I broke for the 4th frame, and looking to pull things nice and level, as we did in the quarterfinal, in the semi-final of the previous game. We had a bit of a loose break, to be fair, and Mr. Mark Allen went for the pot, and we were rather fortunate there that he didn't get it. But a definite safety shot required from us, and having played quite a few safety shots in the last couple of games, we're quite confident with our safety shots now, and that wasn't a bad one at all. Really nothing for Mark Allen to get his teeth into, and an opportunity for us to pick up anything that he leaves slightly loose on the table. And speaking of loose on the table, that nearly went in. Both balls nearly went in all honesty. And I wasn't sure if the shot was on, but it certainly was. My confidence wasn't too high at this point. I was actually quite concerned I was going to screw this shot up. But I tried to play it as safely as I could, with the intention of definitely not potting the white, but hopefully not leaving the red over the pocket for Mark Allen if I made a mistake. I needn't have worried. The ball went in quite smoothly, and we're in a relatively good position. A little bit straight on with the blue, which meant I was unable to open the pack up. Disappointed with that opportunity. I tried to put lots of top and left spin on it, hoping it would come round and break into the pack, but yeah, still need to work on the spin power control side of things, and ended up kissing the black out of its position instead. Forced into a safety shot. I think we did a relatively decent job of it, albeit we got a little bit lucky with the yellow covering those very easy shots down the bottom. Mr. Mark Allen had sight of 2 reds. He played this one rather well, kind of a shot to nothing attempt. Again, it was never going in, but it's a relatively safe shot from there. Nothing particularly perfect for us to play for. With nothing really to play for, it was a shot to nothing safety shot once again. 38% power just to make sure it reached, and we got rather lucky there with the kiss on the blue, and everything suddenly fell into our lap a little bit in this game, and we had the opportunity to clear up, which we promptly did. Again, leaving ourselves rather straight on the black, but not really particularly bothered by it. We lined up the final shot of the frame. And what a shot that was. Rather happy about it. Big fat smiles all over my big fat face. And yes, we went away for the first time feeling fairly confident about ourselves at a 2-2 level. Pretty much the same as the previous match. And it was Mark Allen's turn to break. Once again, reds over the left-hand pocket. This time, not quite so lucky, leaving both reds potentially potable. And I looked at the long red there, hoping to clear that. But decided ultimately that, although it kind of looked like it would fit into the pocket, I would instead go for the slightly safer, more likely to go in shot, and ensure that we leave ourselves good black to finish. Or to follow, I should say. Bit of a nasty kiss off the cushion there, but we are in position. The reds were open, and we were playing relatively well right up until I put myself in this rather awkward position with the blue blocking the yellow. So a break of 33, we certainly had the lead, and yeah, what I wanted to do really was play this yellow into the pocket. You can see the final red there on the cushion. We just wanted to sit and hold for it, and I felt that a lot of left-hand spin would slow the ball down and behave nicely. But we got this rather unexpected and rather unrealistic response from the cushion there, rebounding the white ball, the cue ball, out to a rather difficult position now, leaving this final red. And basically we needed this red to secure this game, and leaving me in this rather unfavourable position. Decided to play safe as best I could. Really didn't work out at all well. Left both the cue ball and the red straight in the middle of the table, and Mr. Mark Allen, with enough points on the table to draw level, absolutely went ahead and did exactly that with a fantastic shot down to the side there, and a rather long, difficult black for him to play off the back of that shot, but to no problem for Mr. Mark Allen. He cleared up and brought himself right up to the black ball, needing just this to, for the second time, to pull level, and he certainly did that. Now, as the AI did in the previous game, it's quite frustrating. The AI is very, very samey. There is only one AI situation here. They went for the shot, he missed it, he left it on, and I cleared up. I definitely feel like the AI need to be more unique, kind of like in a FIFA environment where each player has skills and, you know, abilities in certain areas. Long shots are good, spin is good, power is good, but other things are lacking, therefore giving you slightly different snooker experiences with each game. But alas, that is not the game we have with Snooker 19, at least not at this stage. So it was our turn to break on this fifth frame, I believe we're into now. Sixth frame, sitting 3-2 up, requiring only 4 to take the lead. But Mr. Mark Allen playing a rather fantastic red into the corner pocket there. A little bit unlucky with the kiss off the black, pushing that red onto the corner pocket himself. And he was playing averagely okay, basically struggling to get anything going. And then he played that green, which, as you saw, rattled around in the pocket and left us with this rather tricky red into the corner pocket. I wasn't 100% confident we were going to get it, but I went for it. It was a bit of a gamble, and it paid off on this occasion, allowing us a pretty clear table to go and finish. We put the green in, clearing it off from that rather difficult position that it was in on the cushion there, giving us a break of 26, and not the easiest brown in the world, but certainly something that we would expect to pot. And then just requiring the blue and potentially the pink to absolutely wipe this game clean and take the entire match. Now, you saw that I pulled off that power there. It's because I had way too much power, and I could see a real problem. Had I have hit it at that speed, I would have sent the pink careering towards the black, and needing the pink to absolutely secure the game. I felt like maybe I ought to play a bit more sensibly than I usually do. So blue down, pink down, just the black to go. It's a shot to nothing. Try to double it into the corner pocket here. It didn't matter. The game was over. The match was over. It looked a little bit scrappy at times, but there was also some good snooker in there. And at the end of the day, we have taken Mark Allen to town, and we're in the final. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.